Good morning, everyone. My name is Stephen Blount. I am the Product Marketing Manager here at LG Commercial Displays. Thank you for joining us this morning. We will be kicking off our next edition in our LG Commercial Display Solutions Spotlight webinar series. Today, I am happy to have two people join with me. I have Dante Plata with hospitality on the hospitality side of the house, and also have the professor, Chris Martell, our LG sales engineer from digital signage and beyond. So what we'll be doing today, we'll be going through two great products. We have, well, actually three. We'll be going through the styler, which you should actually see in your camera right now on your, as you're logged in through the webinar, you should see it in the camera viewing. And then we'll also be talking about the UH5C. We have two different sizes there, the 75-inch and the 86-inch. Now, I will let you know, the 75-inch, that is launching this month. It's shipping this month, I should say. And the 86-inch, that actually, they're in the same family. However, that's not going to be available until about later July time frame. Nevertheless, they're in the same family, so we thought that we would talk about both of them. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at our agenda for today. So first, we'll be talking about what makes LG different from everyone else. From there, we'll be going into our hospitality solution in the styler, and then we'll be moving on to the digital signage solution in the UH5C 75-inch and the 86-inch, and then we will wrap it up. And once again, I just want to remind everyone, if you haven't done it already, you should be able to see through your camera. It should be right on the right-hand side, and not necessarily your web camera, but there is, I'll say, a field to the right that you should be able to see a live video streaming of the styler. This webinar will be a little bit different from the past, as we will have Dante actually give a live demo of what this styler is all about. So what you can also do, you can drag the bar in between the camera and the PowerPoint presentation. You can drag to make the camera a little bit bigger, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But let's go ahead and continue to get this started. So as you all know, we cover a wide range of different verticals, from retail, QSR, corporate government, transportation, education, and of course, hospitality as well. You'll see by the identifiers at the bottom how these products uniquely fit in each and every vertical. For an example, the UH5C, we believe that it is a great fit in the corporate and government space, retail, education, and that'll pretty much do it. But of course, we think it fits everywhere, but those would be our top recommendations. Now, as far as the styler, we believe that will be a good fit, of course, in hospitality, so lodging, corporate, and government. Now, what you'll find out from Dante is he will also talk about how the styler fits in these different unique verticals. And for another example would be transportation. The styler, as Dante speaks about this, you will see how it easily fits in a hospital, in a hotel, in a different solution like that. However, for transportation, it fits uniquely as in one of the airline loyalty clubs that are in the different airports. So Dante will talk all about that, and Chris Martell will also talk about how the UH5C fits in these different verticals as well. Okay, now we have our IPS technology. Now, our IPS technology is the #1 differentiator from us and everyone else out there. You will find our IPS technology in just about all of our commercial display products, from our large screen format displays to our small screen format displays in healthcare and also in our hospitality. The great thing about our IPS technology is the super wide viewing angles that you get with our displays. So you can actually have up to 178 degrees viewing angle in looking at any one of our displays. And not only that, but then you talk about the color accuracy, the vividness of the dynamics of that's coming out of the actual display. And these are all great advantages that you find in our IPS technology. Now, The great thing is it's not only us here at LG and our customers that feel so great about our IPS technology, but even some of our, so to speak, competitors, but also now, they're our customers as well. You will find our IPS technology in some of the lead brand names out there in the different mobile devices and even some of the small screen format displays as well. They actually have our IPS technology embedded into their devices as well. Now, they might not come out and say, oh, yeah, this is LG's IPS technology, but they will call out the IPS technology in general. Well, with that being said, now what I'm going to do, I am going to turn it over to Dante Fata, and Dante is going to talk about all the great images and things you can do with the styler. Dante, it's all yours.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay? So as Stephen mentioned, my name is Dante Fata, and I'm with the LG Hospitality Sales Team here in Lincolnshire, Illinois. And I have the privilege of presenting this very unique and exciting product that LG's created called the LG Styler. It is a steam clothing care system that they've created for people that are on the go, business travelers, executives, also just anyone that would like to have something or maybe limit their visits to the dry cleaners. This would be ideal to have in your home or in a hotel, as Stephen also mentioned, in a club, airline club, or a VIP lounge of some sort. So what I've done before the meeting started, I turned on a demo to show what the inside looks like and how this actually works. These are the buttons here. This is a touchscreen display. You have several different options, and you can do a refresh where you'd like to remove some wrinkles from your shirt, your sport coat, a blouse, any delicate item. You can also have a dry, well, there is a dry function. You can also dry your clothing, perhaps if you're wet, get caught in the rain. You can remove odors if you're coming out of dinner in a smoke-filled room, perhaps. This does a lot of great things that you're not going to find or you're not going to be able to do with your normal washer dryer at home. And you would also, again, as I mentioned, limit your visits to dry cleaners, saving yourself a couple bucks at the same time, and also getting some great results. So right now, this is on a demo mode. Once I'm done explaining the styler, I'll turn this off, and I'll go through the options so you can see what cycles are, what the time is of each cycle, and more or less just how it works from beginning to end. And just so you know, this is a sticker here that we've added just for the purpose of this display. But when we ship this out or when we have this in a hotel, this sticker is not on here. So you would imagine this unit just in a glass looking without this piece here. So it is the dimensions of this about 72 inches in height, 17.5 inches across, and about 23 inches from front to back. The weight is about 180 pounds. This styler has 2 wheels on the back and 2 flat front legs, so you can lean this back and move it if you wanted to do that. I'm going to open the door now. I have a demo on so you can see how this works with the door closed. Now, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this or not with the camera, but there's steam on right now. I've already put in my suit jacket, dress shirt, as well as dress pants to explain a little bit of what it does. The hanger has a moving option, or a moving motion perhaps of it, so 180 times per minute. The swivels to allow the steam to penetrate the fabric and also removes any debris, fabric, any lint, different things like that will fall down into a lint trap, similar to what you have with your dryer at home. There, you can hang at the top up to 5 items. If they're a bit bulkier, maybe a little bit larger, the 2 inner slots are diagonal, so you'll have a little bit more room from corner to corner when you're hanging perhaps a larger dress or sport coat or jacket. As I work a little bit lower here, you have a base where you can lay clothing flat if you'd like to. It's also removable. So if you have a long dress, perhaps even your dress pants, you want to remove some wrinkles or odor, you want to freshen it up a little bit, you can remove this base, and then you have the extra space to add that clothing. in the back here, which hopefully you'll be able to see, but further in the back, there's a kind of like a small casing where you can put an aroma sheet or a dryer sheet, such as a Bounce or Downy, something to that effect if you'd like a little bit of scent with your clothing. And also there are vents back here for dry air as well as steam. As I work down a little lower, the lint trap, excuse me 1 second. The lint trap is easily accessible just by lifting this here and then pulling this piece out. As you can see, there's not much there, but if there were any lint, it would fall here. Easily fits back into place. And then just lower than that are the tanks where you would fill water, and as I should have mentioned from the beginning, this works on regular water as well as electricity, obviously, but there are no detergents or chemicals added to refreshing your clothing or drying your clothing. So the basins where you would fill the water or remove are here at the bottom. They easily pull apart, which I cannot do now because it's on and running, but this is the water fill tank. You would fill this up to its max level. This would run about 3 to 4 cycles on normal cycles, a little bit longer if you're doing light cycles. And this tank here is a drain tank. So any condensation, steam, water that drains down, kind of the bad water, dirty water, I would say, fills in here. There are notifications on the front touchscreen panel that will let you know when you need to fill water or when you need to remove the old water. So this is, it will let you know the steps that you need to take in order to proceed. Here on the door itself, we have the pants crease here. This is a great function, and what it does is it allows you to put a crease into your dress pants while removing odors with the steam. So I have a pair of slacks here I've hung up. There are several different levels up top, depending on how long your legs are, obviously, in height. You would connect them here at the bottom, lay them flat against the door, put the waist in. This fits to a 38 max waistline. So you put that in here, simply close the door. It's just a click and close and start your cycle. And once you're done with the steam and with this door being closed, you'll have a very nice looking crease on your dress pants. So you probably, I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but there's a little bit of condensation here. The steam's going on while I have the demo. I don't know if you can tell. But this is what it does when the door is closed. The starter will not run when you have it on a normal refresh or drying cycle. Once you open the door, it's going to stop. You'll have about 30 seconds to reactivate the cycle. Otherwise, the cycle stops and you have to start from the beginning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to press the button, the power button, just so you can see how this would work in a normal, everyday setting. Has a nice little chime to it. So, you know, as you come off the airport, airplane, you're out of the airport, checking into your hotel, open up your luggage, your clothes are a bit wrinkled. Instead of going straight to the bathroom and turning the hot water on and letting your clothes hang for a bit, you would put your clothes in here, hang them as I've done, press start. The settings, the cycles light up. You would simply click on refresh, and hopefully you can see this. If not, please refer to the PowerPoint that's shown also. But there are several functions here that you can select with their cycles. So refresh, I'm going to select. This is the normal cycle for refresh. Tells you it has 36 minutes of runtime. That's a little bit too long, and maybe I just want something kind of quick. I have a meeting to go to, a bit of a hurry. Hit refresh again. Select the light cycle. You'll have nice, clean smelling shirt, tie, suit jacket, blouse, whatever you have done within 21 minutes. If you have a little bit more time and you need some extra, deep cleaning, select refresh again for heavy, and that runs about an hour or 5 minutes. So that is the refresh cycle. That's to freshen up your clothes, remove most of your wrinkles. It's not going to be, you're not going to put in a very wrinkled shirt, take it out, and it will look iron pressed. That's not what's going to happen here, but it's definitely, your shirt will look presentable, your blouse will look presentable, and you'll smell great. There's a dry cycle, 2 hours for a normal cycle, a bit longer for delicates. Then you also have a time dry. This allows you to select 30-minute dry, 1 hour, 1:30, 2 hours, 2 hours, 30 minutes. This allows you to select how much time you want to dry your clothing with warm air. And what this cycle, the dry cycle, is for, as I mentioned previously, if you're caught in the rain, maybe you went to the gym, your gym clothes are a bit damp, sweaty, and you just want to dry them, you can use this cycle here just for dry purpose. And it will work great. You also have sanitary function. If you want to sanitize your clothing, you have some options here. So this more or less explains how the touchscreen works. There's some other options that are available on the styler. However, being in a hotel setting or in an airline club or lounge, these options are really not going to work for you. It would be mainly refresh or dry and possibly sanitary, but mostly these two. So this is basically the LG styler in a nutshell. My information is at the end of the PowerPoint. If you have any questions, if you're interested in learning how you can have one in your business or your hotel, in your boardroom or office room, things like that, please send me an email or give me a call, and I'll be more than happy to work with you. And also, if you need a demo, another in-person demonstration, something like that, I'd be more than happy to assist where I can. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. And back to you, Stephen.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dante, for walking us through that great demonstration of exactly how this LG styler works. There's a lot of information that you gave us, Dante, but thank you for walking us through it. And so you did mention that we can find all the information on the website, and also we can reach out to you to get some more information if need be, or they can reach out to myself, and I'll put them in contact with you. And just a reminder for everyone, this is being recorded, so we will be able to share this with you as well. Another thing you should also know that we are coming from our very brand new Business Innovation Center here in Lincolnshire, Illinois. So if you look at the styler, you probably see that there's a little glossy finish. There's a glossy finish, and you see a little bit of reflection. A lot of things going on. But thank you for letting us be with you and going through what we have thus far. Now, what we'll do, we're going to go ahead and hand it off to Chris. But before we do so, I'll go ahead and do a quick check to see if we have any questions. We will also have a Q&A at the end. But we'll go ahead and see if there's some questions through the via chat, or if there's some questions that you have that you want to raise your hand and I can unmute you. So any questions before we move on? Okay. Looks like if you can just raise a virtual hand if you do have one, or you want me to unmute you, I can go ahead and do so. All right, no problem at all. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and transition, and we are going to let Chris Martell to get on the microphone and walk us through this great two products, 75-inch and 86-inch of the UH5C. Chris, you there with me?
I am here, Stephen.
Good morning, Chris. It's all yours.
Excellent. So we're going to talk about a couple of our new products that will be coming out this year, both the 75 and 86-inch UHD high-end commercial display products. If you could advance me here, Stephen. So basic concepts of the UH5C product line. They are our Ultra HD resolution, and that is 3840 by 2160. They run on our new H5 processing platform, which includes our WebOS 2.0 operating system, and they'll be available in two sizes to start, the 75-inch and the 86-inch. Basic functionality of this platform, we have 24/7 operation. Due to our IPS panels, we have a vivid, ultra-high definition picture and excellent quality of the screen. Industrial design is meant for commercial type applications, so you have a very slim and very appealing design. It has some additional functionality when it comes to the reporting of screen faults. It can connect via SNMP, Simple Network Management Protocol, as well as some other advanced diagnostic features built into the host platform. Probably the neatest thing that we have going for us is our WebOS 2.0 platform is embedded in these screens. WebOS started off life as Palm OS, and Palm was sold to HP. HP didn't do so well with the WebOS concept, so LG actually acquired the rights to WebOS about 3 or 4 years ago now and decided to embed it into a large number of our different offerings. Everything from commercial signage to consumer smart home theater systems. Some of the key features that we bring with our OPS platform, with our WebOS platform, though, are we have built-in Wi-Fi on these particular screens. WebOS can be used as either a signage-based application or even just for more enhanced display control. And we basically provide the framework, and it's up to the software partners to write an application that will live resident on our screen and can do a whole host of different things, anything from content delivery to beacon communication, Bluetooth, just a whole host of different functionality that just makes for a much more cost-effective deployment for signage purposes. We have another new feature of our, back one please, Stephen. Another new feature of our of this particular generation of the platform is the capability of doing up to 4 division picture by picture. So that means we can actually take 4 different feeds into the screen and split it up in 4 different ways, or 2 different, or even 3. Brightness you'll see is about a 500 nit product, so that's about 2 to 3 times brighter than your typical home television. The bezel size has been made even all the way around at 14.9 millimeters for the 75-inch or 14.3 for the 86. And the depth is actually pretty reasonable at 73.9 millimeters or just over 78 for the 86-inch. When it comes to our interfaces, we have DisplayPort, HDMI, DVI, RS-232, RJ45, audio capability, pixel sensor, which is part of our advanced diagnostics platform, as well as the capability of accepting an SD card for content playback or a USB stick. Continue on. So some of the things about Ultra HD. Ultra HD is often used synonymously with 4K. There are some slight differences, but the main thing is that it's 4 times the resolution of your typical 1080p panel. So instead of being 1920 by 1080, you're 3840 by 2160. It means you have 4 times the pixel information on your screen. We also include an HEVC, high efficiency video coding decoder, so you can drive 4K at 60 frames per second. These screens also support an up conversion engine, which will take 1080p content and render it to near 4K functionality. It'll have a lot of that same depth and a lot of that same higher resolution, just starting from a lower resolution source. Some of the nice things we can do with WebOS, it's actually relatively simple to write an application for it. There's some paperwork involved in getting access to the development kit, but once you have it, you can write an application. It's an HTML5 based rendering engine, so you have access to a whole bunch of different things, from just displaying a simple web page to doing full touch interactive content. And there's simple management engines available. Depending on which type of management solution you go with, you can even control it right from your tablet or your smartphone from pretty much anywhere in the world. Next up. So this talks a little bit about our picture-by-picture and picture-in-picture layouts. You can do a picture-in-picture, which is depicted in the bottom right section there. Picture-in-picture is typically what was a big selling feature of televisions a few years ago, where you can have 2 games on at the same time or 2 programs. It's kind of fallen by the wayside in a lot of ways in commercial signage, because it's just not used all that much. It detracts from the messages behind it because it doesn't compensate for the portion of the image that's missing. So you're going to be missing a section of your image. What's becoming more prevalent is the picture-by-picture functionality. And that's where you can have multiple images side by side, and each image is displayed in its full native or full content capability. You're not blocking out any portion of the image. You can see that our depth is improved compared to some of the competitive products on the market. So in the example of our 86-inch, we're about 30 millimeters smaller. That's about almost a full inch. So that's a pretty significant savings. Some of the things that are pretty interesting about this platform is it does support a Bluetooth low-energy beacon. What this can do is provide interactivity in a signage application where perhaps you didn't have interactivity before. It doesn't require any user intervention. You have an application that will run on a customer's smartphone or smart device, and when they approach within range of the screen, if they have a companion app that knows enough to talk to your signage application, it can interface and it will tell them that, say, they're in the shoe department or they're in the tire department or the hardware department, and it can feed a coupon or a notification or a special advertising directly to that customer's cell phone that's sitting in their pocket. It could be a coupon. It could be a, hey, did you know that we're having a sale on socket sets? Please stop by our hardware department and buy a new socket set. And it's pretty intuitive, and it's a pretty intuitive solution, and it's a very nice way to reach out and have more customer and client interactions. So by having the system on chip, our WebOS system on chip, we can reduce the total cost of deployment. Conceivably now you can have a screen plugged into a wall, connected via Wi-Fi, and that is all you need for a signage application, provided that you have a WebOS-based application running on the platform. These screens can also act as a soft access point. So if you have them wired to a network, say in a conference room setting, they can act as an access point for up to 10 devices within that conference room. So if you have a significant amount of meeting space, or you just want to be able to extend your Wi-Fi network to maybe a smaller classroom or different learning center opportunities, the screen can actually act as the access point for that. It also supports mirroring via Miracast or Intel's wide-eye standard. So from a laptop, tablet, or smartphone, you can mirror the screen that you have on your mobile device and show that on the big screen without actually having to connect any wires. So some of the other features of the WebOS 2.0 enhancements is we can now support portrait mode natively for embedded applications without having to do any kind of external processing. You simply change a setting in the menu, tell the screen that it's in portrait mode, and it will do the math and handle the rest. That's a unique feature to our WebOS 2.0 platform, and it's something we'll be carrying forward as well. Some of the advanced diagnostics that we were speaking about before would be like the advanced screen check feature, which involves a pixel sensor. The pixel sensor is a little thing slightly smaller than a postage stamp, lives in the upper left corner of the screen, and it monitors a pattern. It looks for a red, green, and blue pattern. If it doesn't see that pattern, it knows that something has gone catastrophically wrong. When it knows that something's gone catastrophically wrong, it relies on the screen's logic to reach out to either our SuperSign software or an SNMP Simple Network Management Protocol server and send a message to somebody to come take a look at what's going on. Content scheduling can be actually achieved now without any external software. You can use the remote control, go into the simple content scheduling menu, and it's just a matter of picking what content you want to play with very simplified timelines, and you can just do it. It's very simple, it's very intuitive, so if you have any customers or deployments where they don't necessarily want to deal with software, or not really all that tech savvy, you can actually go in, load all their content on a USB stick, plug it into the screen, and say, I want to play this menu for 30 seconds, I want to play this video clip, and then I want to go back to the menu and just have that be my cycle, and it'll work just fine. You can also do SuperSign EZ, which is an embedded editor used via a QR code on the screen. It does basically a peer-to-peer network access. You type in your PIN code, and you can actually edit content directly from your smart device or your mobile PC and push that content directly to the screen. Another feature that we're having in a lot of our commercial displays, which kind of bears some nice talking about, is our OPS capability. OPS is Open Pluggable Specification or Open Pluggable Slot, depending on who you ask. And it's basically an adapter cage that would bolt to the back of the screen and open up a whole host of different opportunities, from a technology, from PCs to digital TV tuners, but probably the most promising technology we have is HD-based-T. HD-based-T lets you push HDMI, network control signals, and IP address information up to 100 meters away from the source. So let's say you have a deployment where you have screens hung around the second or third story of an atrium in an office building. You don't necessarily want to have the PCs hanging that far up, because chances are your PC is going to fail long before anything else does. With the HD-based-T technology, you can have all of your computers in a central location at ground level and run those screens just as though the PC were sitting right next to them. It opens up a whole new host of opportunities for ease of maintenance and ease of use. It just makes the system a lot more reliable and easy to work with. A number of our systems will have built-in speaker capability, so it'll be a little bump out on the bottom edge of the screen, and it gives you a pair of 10-watt speakers, which are actually pretty high quality for embedded type television speakers. You're probably not going to win any audio processing awards with them, but for conference room type settings or classrooms, they are more than adequate to fit the bill. The logo is detachable as well, so the little LG bump out on the bottom, you take out one screw and you can either move it to the side if you want to put it into portrait mode, or you can remove it entirely. There are carrying handles on the back of our screens, which may seem like a small and silly thing, but it makes a huge difference in terms of installation. There's also a built-in IR receiver and ambient light sensor that is somewhat permanently attached. There's a single screw. You can remove it if you want, but otherwise it just flips up and rotates out of the way. This kind of compares to some of our competitors' products. Our screen is a 24/7 rated screen. Theirs is 16. Ours is an edge lit versus their direct lit. The resolutions are the same. The brightnesses are the same. The bezel, ours is even all the way around, so it makes a more eye-pleasing approach. Theirs has some differences on the screens. Our depth is less. Power consumption is less. We have the embedded SoC platform. Wi-Fi is built in. More input capability. There's just a whole host of different features that we just more or less come out on top.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Chris, for walking us through that UH5C. Really appreciate that. There's a lot of different capabilities, 75 and an 86-inch being part of the same family, and it's great that we have two different flavors and give you different sizes there. What I'd like to do now, everyone, is to open